Welcome back. Happy New Year. If you're watching this in January 2020, if you're watching this in July, hope your summer's going great. This video has been 2 months almost, or almost 3 months in the making. I've been away. I've been busy. I've been doing my daytime job, and so YouTube unfortunately had to be thrown by the wayside, I'm afraid. These things happen when you work in production code. You've got to produce stuff. That's what happens, and I'm more than happy to do it. That's my day job, and I get paid to do it, and I love what I do. Um, but hopefully, this will make amends for the absence. Just to let you know that the videos are still be coming out this year. Maybe not as much as I'd like to, but certainly for the next couple of weeks there'll be a video uh, until we get back into another problem and then another project, and then we'll see what happens from there. But for now, there's going to be a couple of videos. Finishing off is going to be the Frogger video. Roy Meredith, hello, thanks for keeping me honest. We've had a bit of a chit chat back and forth. I'm trying to get him to post up his version of Frogger. He took the code and then enhanced it and made it look almost it's almost pixel perfect to the arcade, and you really got to see this. It's totally awesome. So I'm kind of looking forward to posting his video. He posted his video, but I'm looking forward to posting the code, or people can play it online. That would be awesome. Anyway, he kind of wanted me to finish this video just to see how I would go about doing it. So this is part one of that, and we'll finish it off in the next, or hopefully we'll finish it off in the next video. If not, it'll be the video after that. There can't be that many more videos in this. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's get coding after the break. It's after the fade, isn't it? Ah, I'm so rusty. All right, so this is going to be the final sprint, so to speak, for Frogger. Or run to the end, home run. I don't know what we're going to call it. So we have, this is what we have so far. And we have our little frog. Oh no, he's dead. So we have our little frog doing that, but we also, every time we skip forward, we need to add, he gets a point every time he skips forward. In fact, I think if we go to here, we should find out the scores. Where's the attract mode? I think it's, let me see, Frogger, let's do it, Frogger instructions. There you go. It's usually good. One player Frogger, Frogger. Oh no, there it is there. Is that it there? Avoid the trucks. Point. There we go. Okay, and you'd find it somewhere. So 10 points for each step, 50 points for every frog arrived home safely, 1,000 points for saving frogs in 5 homes, 10 points remaining second. Okay, so let's, if we haven't already, I think if we go to Frogger himself, so this is the Frogger script. If we go to here, so this is, we move them, and then we move to that point there, and then we need to add 1 to the score. So the score is, where's the score coming in from? The score has got to be coming in from, do we even have the score here? No, because this is part of view and we don't really want to do that. So how do we signal that? We signal it by killing the frog, don't we? So we get frog sprite there, kill frog. Where's kill frog? Kill frog. Kill frog. Set active, frog is home, frog reach, kill frog. So we don't want to kill him. So if the goal is reached, we want to kill the frog, so set that to be there. Otherwise, show frog true. Okay. But I think that just sets that to be active. Okay, so we don't actually know. Why did I make this so complicated? Okay. So I don't know if we have spawn points, Frogger, goal, action, kill script, vehicle. I don't think we actually have anything else here. I'm getting mixed up with the mono project that we did. Darn it! So we need some kind of scoring system. And I think what we'll do is we will have a game controller. That's probably the best thing to do. So if I go to here, and I will do, we don't have a game controller, do we? No, I don't think we do. Let me go to main camera. No, we don't. Okay, so I'm going to create C# script, and I'm going to call it game controller. And game controller is just going to be this guy here. And then I want to have a public int score get return score private int score. So I want to have this private score. That's a terrible thing. Why am I doing that? Multiple lines. Okay, so I want to have this over here because I don't want to increase it. I want to have a method to hide it behind. So I'm going to do public void increment score, and then it's going to be score value. Oops. Score value. Score plus equals score value. And then the score value, I'm going to create another script in here, which is just going to be values. Just going to be a static class, and that class is going to hold all the values. So that means if we want to change it, we want to multiply it, we want to do anything like that, we can do it inside here. So I'm going to say score values, and that is going to be static class score values, public static int step equals 10, public static int home equals 50, static int all home equals 1000, and saving frogs into 5 homes, and then 10 points remaining second. So public static int per second equals 10. Okay, we don't need any of that. Also, I got a new keyboard recently as well, which is the Keychron C4, I think it's called. I'm still getting used to it. It's like a 93% compact keyboard, so like all the keys are smushed together because people were complaining that the clicking for the last keyboard was too much. So I don't know what this keyboard's like. It feels quieter to me, but who knows. Okay, so what we want to do now is we want to increment that score by sending a message to this thing. Now we don't necessarily want to have this referenced everywhere, but do I want to go and create a message queue just for this particular game? Probably not really. So I'm just going to create a reference in the things that I wanted to be referenced. So I'm going to say Frogger, and then I'm going to have a public game controller, and inside game controller, every time you make a step, I'm going to say, move that to the next line, game controller dot increment score values step. So every time we make a step and you don't die, that's the important part, because you don't want to increment it every time, because you're dead. You shouldn't get rewarded for that. So every time you die, every time you don't die and you make a step, then you get your score incremented. Okay. That's good for that. And then what do we got here? We also need to have when they get home as well. So when they get home, frog is home. If goal is reached, do that. Otherwise, show frog true. Death cooldown is 1. So if they reach the goal, then we want to increment the score as well. So we want to say game controller increment score values home. So anytime you get home, you also get a score for that. Okay. And I need to add that game controller to something. So I'm going to create a new empty game object called, I'm going to call it tilde game controller tilde so that we know where it is. I'm going to drag that right up to the top there. And I'm going to add my game component, game controller to it. And then the Frogger player, see, that should be okay. Just add that to there. That's fine. And so now we will increment the score, but the problem is we can't see the score now. So I'm also going to add, do I have any UI elements on here? I don't think I do. Okay, so let me do add UI canvas, and the canvas is going to be screen space camera. How do I do this again? Do I want to do it as overlay or camera? Let me do it as world space actually. And then make this as small as possible so it goes down to here. Like that. Just doing this kind of roughly just now. Well, we have these in here. There. And there. Okay. And then inside the canvas, I want to have UI, and then this is going to be Text Mesh Pro, import TMP Essentials. So you'll need to do this for your own project, but we'll do this as a sort of rough thing just now. So right now the game's going to look like this, which is going to look like, but it'll look great in just a sec. So I'm going to put new text there, and I'm going to say score 0 just for now, and I'm going to call this score, and I'm going to create a game controller. I'm also going to have another thing, and I'm going to call this UI controller. And UI controller is also going to sit on game controller. Pew, like that. And UI controller is going to have public game controller, and it's also going to have TM text. Is it UI text mesh UG? I think it's that one. I can remember which one it is. So I think it's that one there. So if I do text.text, yeah, it is that one. Text.text equals, and then I can use string interpolation, which would be score, and this is going to be game controller dot score, like that. So every update, we update the player score. And we need to make sure that we've got the proper game controller there. So the game controller is going to be that, and then the score is going to be that, there. Okay. And so if I run this now, should be good. Okay, so there's score. So every time I take a step, you see that the score increments. There we go. So up to 160 already, but when I do this, I die, but the score doesn't increment. So that's the score done. So if we go home now, let's see if I can do it in one. Oh, this is not going to be well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here we go. So she got by 50. Did it? I don't think it did. 49, 53. No, it didn't. Why did that not go up by 3? That should go up by 50. So, have I got that around the wrong way? Oh, in fact, you know what? I have got it around the wrong way, because it should be, it's when you die, isn't it? Because what it does is it resets it. So death cooldown showed frog is true, so sprite active false, death cooldown is true. So that should actually be in here. So let me do this and put that there. Okay. Then we go back to here, wait for it to compile, which doesn't take as long as it used to now, I've noticed. So that's good. Well, I don't know what I did there, but that did not work. What? It just didn't work. What did I do wrong there? Well, clearly that broke it. So if the goal is reached, kill the frog. Set countdown to be that. Set it to be that. I think it is that one. So why is that not incrementing? Increment score, value, and then home is 50. Well, okay, let's set a breakpoint, see what happens. In fact, let's set a breakpoint here. And we'll attach to Unity, and we'll do some debugging. Okay. All right, let's start this off. Okay. Okay. All right, so we're home. 10 goal reached. So wait, goal. Okay, that's badly named. Who said that was a good idea? Let's call this goal occupied. That's much better, because now I know what it means. So if the goal's occupied, you don't get a point for it, we just kill your frog. So if I put that there, and then this one in here, That should fix it. Oops. That should really fix it. Okay. So, oh, that was bad. Bad. Uh-oh, that's a bug. Ignoring that for now. There we go. Okay, so it does increment that. Okay. Well, that's not good that you can jump into the river. I don't think you can jump into the river. I think you can jump in straight off the bat. There you go. Okay. All right, so the score's there. So let's get the high score in as well. So game controller, and then we'll say public int high score, private int high score equals 1000. In fact, look, we'll leave it as 0 just now, and then we'll say if score is greater than high score equals score. Which makes nothing but sense to me. Let's see how we can break this. Okay. And then inside the UI controller, I'm going to say this is going to be score and public text mesh pro GUI high score, and that's going to be score high score dot text equals what's it called on here? High dash score. Actually, that's called 1UP. So that should be 1UP. 1UP. And then that should be high score. Controller.high score. Like that. Okay. And then inside here, I'm just going to do a duplicate of that, Control D. And this is going to be high score. And I'm going to move it over to here just for now. And I'm going to run it. So right now it's going to be score 0, but every time I move, nothing happens, which is exactly what I was expecting because I never set the UI there. Whoops. That's got to be high score in there, and that's got to be score in there. Okay, so once I've got those values set, so the high score is wrong. Whoopsies. What am I doing? That would be that. Okay. Well, fingers and thumbs tonight. What's different? What is different? What exactly is different from me being fingers and thumbs? I'm always fingers and thumbs. Okay, so 1UP is 0, high score is 0. So that's good. So it increments every time you go over the high score. So the default high score is 4630. Okay, so let me just change that into, where are we? Game controller equals 46300. That there, and okay, so now we have our high score up here. All right, so I'm going to go and find the font that best matches this, and I'm going to do that offline, or else you're going to see a whole bunch of stuff that it isn't relevant whatsoever. So 1 second. Okay, so what I found this font here, which is, for those of you playing at home, is this URL here, completely free. So that's good. So I'm going to go to here and go to project, and then we have art, and I'm going to create a folder in here called font, and then I'm going to show an explorer. What's up? Come on, there we go. And then I'm going to go to downloads, and then the version I want is this one here, which is the N version. The N version is the one in the middle. This one here, which is the one that closely resembles the font I'm looking for. And now that I have that in here, I can do, how do I do this again? Create Text Mesh Pro font asset. No, that's not how you do it. It's in here. It's in Window Text Mesh Pro font asset creator. And then what I want to do is I drag this up to here, and I leave everything as is, and I click on generate font asset, and yeah, that's good enough. And then I click on save, and then this gets saved inside here. That's good enough as well. And now I have this font asset that I can use. So that's the easiest way. You can tweak these settings to your heart's content. For everything I've ever used, because I tend to use bitmap fonts, the default settings are fine. So now I can go to our score and high score, and I can change that. So the score uses this font asset. I'm going to change that to the arcade one, and you can see it immediately changes to something that's a bit more relevant. So the score for that is actually going to be 0, and it is also going to be right aligned, and it's also font size 8 as well. So pixel size 8. So because the screen is the same size, that it should be roughly the same pixel size. And can I do multi-line here? I think I can do 1 dash up 0, but unfortunately it's going to be in the next line, so I'm just going to do that as 0 there. And I think it's red as well. Yep, it's red. So I'm going to choose a kind of reddy color. That's good enough. And I'm also going to do the same thing for this one as well. So that is going to be the high score, which is going to be 0. And in fact, let me delete this one. Let me delete that one. And I'll just duplicate this one. And I'll call this one high score. And I can just drag and drop this out onto here. There we go, high score. So high score is there, and you can see that it's on that same level. And bring those to there, and drop them down to there. I don't think high score is particularly in the middle there, but you can tweak these values. I'm not going to do that for this particular video, but if you want, you can do that. So I'm going to just drag and drop these across here. I'm also going to duplicate these, and I'm going to move them up. That one. I'm going to move them up to about here. And the high score and high score. So score 1 and high score 1, they are going to be white in color, and they're going to have 1 dash up like that. So you can see that we've got this 1 dash up here, And then for this high score one, we're going to change that to high dash score, like that. And you can see it's starting to look a bit more like Frogger. And we can probably get that centered actually. So if we grab the high score there, we can bring that into here, and we can actually have that as being centered there. And then the same thing for score and score. We can drag them along. I think they're about here. Where are we? I think it's in this shot here. Yeah, okay, so it's the middle of that one there. So if I drag that to be about here, and then these two here, they get dragged to about here-ish. It's roughly where they are. That's about right. Nearly. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And that is it. So if we click on press play, not quite. We need to fix that string interpolation, so that's easy done. If we go to UI controller, all we do is we just get rid of that and rid of that, or we could alternately call .toString on the integer. We could do that as well, and this should fix the high score for me. There we go. So we get 1 up and high score, and you see it's all beautifully aligned. I'm in trouble now. Oh, see, I can manage to do that there. So you can see that everything's coming up Millhouse, which is good. We have the thorny issue of running out of time. We also need to have frogs here as well, which we don't have. So what do we got just now? This is we're 7 minutes into this bit here. So let's have death. So if we go to our blocks, animation, art, blocks. So we have our frogs here. What do we have in this one here? We have little tiny frogs. Do we have little tiny frogs in our blocks? I don't know if we do. No, do we have it in here? I think we have it in here, inside font. There we go. Okay, so we need this one here. So if we go to font, what is this one set up to be? This is pixels per unit is 1. Okay, so if we go to here, pixels per unit 1, type sprite editor, point filter, and we do, why is that not slice? Because it's not multiple. If we do that as multiple, click on apply, sprite editor, and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 by 6. Okay, so if we do slice, and then we do count, and then we do 10 by 6, we should get that there. Okay, so we're going to call this one Froggy, like that. Okay, and now we can use Froggy to represent our character. Now I'm going to click on apply here. So we are going to have, where's our game controller? We need to have a number of lives here. 12 private int lives equals 3. I think you get 3 lives to start with. How many you got down here? You got 1 down there. Okay. And then we need to have public int lives get return lives. And then we need to have public void lives lives minus if lives is less than 0. Game over is true. Less than or equal to 0. Lives equals 0. Game over. Game over. Get return. Game over. Okay. So decrement lives when you die, and then once you're dead, then we want you to stop existing. Okay. So how are we going to do that? That froggy thing. I'm going to cheat, I think. So I'm going to have inside the canvas, I'm going to create an image, add a UI. Let me call it, let me create a panel. Okay, and the panel is going to be down here, like so, like that. Okay, and I think we can have, I'm making this more complicated than it has to be. Layout, grid, horizontal layout, grid. Okay. Spacing, and I'm going to have an add UI image, and then that image is going to be, I don't know what size it is. Oh dear. Sprite editor, what size is it? It is 8 by 8. I could have guessed that. 8 by 8. So the image in here is going to be 8 by 8, which is way too big. The source image is going to be Froggy. This guy here. Okay. And I think if I do duplicate, okay, so duplicate. So if I go back to panel and upper left, let's make that middle left. There we go. And child force expand width. There we go. Width and height. Perfect. Padding. That's good. And I do duplicate. Oops, I want that. I do duplicate of that, and then duplicate of that, and then duplicate of that. Duplicate. That works okay. Okay. So what I'm going to do is delete that, and then I'm going to put change that to rename lives indicator. Okay, lives indicator. So what this is going to do is it's going to spawn a new lives indicator anytime we want to do something. So I'm going to change the background here to nothing, and I'm going to change the background to black, and I'm going to make it opaque, completely transparent. So if I look at the game, I can see that I have my little froggy down there, and I'm going to go and grab lives, and I'm going to drop that into prefabs. So now I have my lives indicator. Now my lives indicator is going to do nothing. In fact, I'm not even going to have it. What I am going to do though is inside the game controller, inside the UI controller, sorry, I'm going to say public panel, and that is inside. Actually, I don't need the panel. I just need a game object. game object. In fact, I just need to transform. I'm going to call that panel. And I also need game object lives indicator, or that there. So I'm going to set that up just now inside the editor. So if I go to here and then I drag out panel into there, and then I drag out lives indicator into there. Okay. So update, and then this is going to be update lives indicator. And so I'm going to have a void update lives indicator. So the update lives indicator is what it's going to do is it's going to check to see if the number of lives, if the number of child objects of this panel is not the same as this one, then it's going to update it. So I'm going to say var current value equals game controller dot lives -1. So lives -1 is going to be the indicator. So if current value equals panel dot child count return, if current value is less than or equal to 0, no, I need to know that. So if it's equal to that, then I'm going to return, because I'm only going to show the number of lives remaining. So if you have 3 lives, you have one in the play area, and you have 2 lives in reserve. And so because you get 2 lives in reserve, that means that the child count is going to contain 2. So if it's different, I'm going to remove all the children and then add new ones as necessary. I mean, you could argue you want to like keep them or hide them or whatever, but I'm just going to kill them. So I'm going to say panel.children detach children. Actually, I can do for each children, can't I? I can do. I'm trying to get away without recording how many children are in the panel. Panel dot destroy detach children. What does detach children do? I think detach children, all it does, UT transform detach children. I've got a funny feeling it is going to just detach the child. Unparents all the children. Useful if you want to destroy the root of the hierarchy without destroying the children. Unity destroy all child objects. There's got to be a nice way to do this rather than just cycling through them. Okay, let's try that. So let's do for each var t in panel dot children. No, it's just panel. Destroy t dot game object. Can I just do transform? Oh, there you go. Okay, transform in panel. Destroy that. So that's going to kill those ones, and then I'm going to say for var I equals 0, I less than current value I plus plus. Var go equals instantiate lives indicator, comma, transform, which is going to be panel, and that's going to be it. In fact, I just don't need that because I'm not going to bother recording any of this stuff. So this should now give me the lives indicator, I hope. Okay. Boom, 2 lives indicator. So I'm going to go and smush myself. Oh, but I haven't killed myself. Oops. Okay. Right, let's go to Frogger. So when you die, you need to be able to reset the frog as well. So update cooldown, death is cooldown, return, blah blah blah, 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 blah. Where's the one where it's you reset there? Start initial position equals transfers. Initial position is the one I'm looking for. So reset frog. So at this point here, this is being called by update. So this is going to get called inside update once it reaches the cooldown. But I really want to do it when you die. So I've got to do it when death cooldown is set to 1. So death cooldown is set to 1 at kill frog. So this is when you die here as well. So this is game controller. In fact, no, it's not. It's this bit here, kill frog. So is it kill frog? I think it's just kill frog, isn't it? So kill frog is when the frog dies. In a river, kill frog, kill frog, kill frog. Okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. So kill frog. So I also want to do game controller dot decrement lives. Okay, so when you die, you get smushed, you hit a barrier, whatever it is, you're going to lose a life. So I'm going to go, so we're dead, boom, we're dead, so we should have 1 more frog left. Alright, okay. So when we have no frogs left, we need to do game over. And that is done. How is that done? Frogger game over. Frogger game over. Let's see what happens when you die. Frogger arcade music game over. Oh, maybe this one. No, I think that's literally just game over music. Okay. I mean, I could play the game, I suppose, but that's kind of cheating. Okay, so we've done lives. So when we do game over, dead, dead, dead. Okay, so at that point it is game over. So we need to have a game over in the middle there. So I think what we need to do is we need to, does this have any control over racer spawn, car, spawn vehicle action, actions add, wait action 3, vehicle spawn point. So these are all vehicle spawn points. So I wonder if I can kill everything and then do a game over here. So if I go and grab the score, where's score here? So if I grab score and I duplicate it and I choose that as game over, and then I move it to here, and I zoom in a wee bit so I can see where things are, like this, like that, and then I change that as game over, and That's obviously got to be centered there in the middle of the screen. And it's not obviously going to be displayed, or else that would just be horrible. So game over is going to be there. We also want you to not be able to play. So Frogger player, you've got to die there, but we also need to get rid of this vehicle spawn point as well. So this needs to have while running, public void game over. And I'm going to say running equals false. And then I want to kill every object in that pool. So I'm going to say for each var geo in pool, destroy game object. And that's going to kill everything there. And that's just for good measure, we're going to do clear. So we're going to clear all the actions, tell it to not run, and delete everything in the pool. Okay, that should do it, I hope. And then we just pull all these in here, so we have all these spawn points, and they should all have these against them. So when we do game controller, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. So I'm going to have a you know what? I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to cheat because I'm not going to get into it. But what I was going to do was I was going to say, okay, let's have an interface here, and then we can do the same thing in the Frogger. But I'm going to do something different for Frogger as well. So for game controller, I am going to have a public vehicle spawn points, and that is where we're going to drop everything into. And then when it's game over, when game over is equal to true, if game over equals, so if it's not game over, if it's the first time this has ever been run, because this could actually be entered again. It shouldn't be entered again, but for right now it could be entered again. I want to reset everything right now. So I'm going to say for each var spawn point in vehicle and points, spawn point dot game over. Oops. So I'm going to signal that I don't want anything to be spawned, and whatever spawned has to be killed. And that's all just in this one line here. So it's going to clear all the actions, tell it to stop running, and destroy everything in the pool. And that's going to kill everything. Turtles, you name it, it's all gone. And then inside the game controller, so I have these points up here. So I'm just going to drag these one by one, or can I just do, because these are turtle rows, I think that's a vehicle spawn point as well, isn't it? Yeah, it is. So I think if I click on game controller and I click on the lock, I should be able to go and drag these into points. Boom, there we go. So that's all the lines of things. So on game over, I also want to show the game over sign. So the game over sign is currently turned off so that we don't see it. So that's game controller. Whoops. We really need that one to tick. So game over is going to be turned off so you can't see it. But inside the UI, UI controller. I want to have a public text mesh pro GUI game over, and I want to say if current value equals -1, that means it's game over. In fact, I can do if, I don't need to do that in there. I can say if game controller game over, game over dot set active, set game object dot set active true. Or is it set active in hierarchy now, I think, but whatever. That'll do. So now go back up to here, and then we're going to drag that game over onto here. So now, when game over, boom, boom, and then the next one, game over. So right now the frog is still moving, but we're gonna kill that as well. So when the frog moves, that happens inside here. So blah 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 blah, and then we see if countdown is greater than equal to 0 there. Move, death cooldown, reset frog. But instead of that, what we're going to do is, instead of resetting frog, we're going to call reset frog there, but we're going to say if game controller game over, if it's not game over game controller, if the game controller is not specifying game over, then if the game's not over, reset it. Okay, which means that it will never get turned back on again. So when divide by 0, what? Well, that's no good. Let's not do that then. That's not good. While running and actions.count is greater than 0, actions.clear. So that'll fix that divide by 0. This down here, attempted divide by 0. Okay, and then we'll run this, and then we'll die. Die, froggy. Die, and then die again. So you get to die, but you don't get to come back. Although I am still making steps. So this is no good. So this update has to not run either. So that's got to be in Frogger. So move is cooling down, or game controller dot game over return. So this will stop Froggy from moving, because we don't want Froggy to move. That's still doing that. Okay, maybe. Okay, that's good. So he's not moving now, he's dead. But I've got a funny feeling that this is still got a problem there. And actions stock count is greater than 0. So I think the problem is that this is happening on a different thread. So let's kill it, well, the line anyway, and then that it won't make any difference. Promises, promises. And then last one. Okay. So he's still dead. So game over. And we need to... I think this is going to be for the next video, because it's 9:30 where I am just now, in the evening. So I think for the next video, what we'll do is we will continue this and we'll do the attract mode. What else do we need to do? The attract mode and the reset part of it. And I was going to do it all in one scene, but I think I might do it all. I think I might do it as two separate scenes. So there's the load. There'll be the initial attract mode, and then that'll lead you into the game scene. And then the game scene does the game over. It waits like 5 seconds and then goes back to attract mode. I think I might do it that way. But we'll see how we get on the next time. Well, as you can tell, I'm a little bit rusty. Hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things the next time, which will be next week. I promise I will do a video every week at least for the next 2 weeks. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and it was maybe not as rambly as it is in my head, but we'll see what the viewing figures say anyway. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you wanted to subscribe, hit the notification thing and the bell and the fish and the tree and or whatever it is you need to do on YouTube these days. Like the video. If you did like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, then please let me know in the comments below what I can do to improve it. I admit it's a bit rusty, or I'm a bit rusty. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I know everybody's time is valuable, and watching someone going through a video is probably not the most exciting way to spend your Saturday evening, but thank you anyway for doing that. And I will catch you in the next video. Thanks again. Bye-bye.